Thank you so much, everyone. Before we move on to the second panel of the day, we will have a quick Q&A session with Mr. Sanjay Swaroop. So any questions on the topic of his special address, which is rail connectivity and multimodal integration, would be welcome. We'll have a couple of questions and then we move on. Thank you. Mike.
Good afternoon, sir. That was a lovely presentation you gave on the DFC and what are the things which you are adding, the number of, what happened? I know. Okay. The year-on-year growth of double stack containers which are operating. And I see that you are on almost close to plus 10% or more growth over the last 4+ years. All right. Now, are we geared for the next thing when we are talking about the volumes which has been envisioned or which has been espoused by the ministries and various ministers across? That is my first question. And second question is related to that. You said about LNG network and you are on the first mile, last mile on the LNG network which you have been talking about. Wonderful, sir. Great. That is great. Now, when we are talking about your hubs, your basic operations is right out of North India. Major, rather, no, I won't call it basic. Major is out of North India. And you already expressed your limitations of LNG out in that area. What are you doing, or what is the government and your ministry doing to take care of that, sir? These are my two questions. Thank you.
Now, the first thing about your first question, we are, of course, ready for the cargo growth that is taking place. As I mentioned that already we have 4 MMLPs connected to Western DFC. One more MMLP is coming at Ahmedabad, which will be coming up in another 1.5 years. So all these MMLPs are huge, big facilities, almost 300 acres or more, in which there is a container stacking facility, state-of-the-art warehousing for value addition of cargo, then big parking facilities, and all of these are using latest IT, techniques for all the information that is being provided to customers, and all the operations are also online. There is nothing manual. So I think we are very much future ready, especially with DFC coming. There will be a lot of line capacity for running container trains. And as you know, the whatever containers, around 20 million TEUs were handled, I think, at all the Indian ports in the last financial year. Almost 60 to 65% is focused in this belt only, North India to Western India. So, and Western DFC is also present in this belt. So, we are quite geared up to handle the growth. And as per the National Rail Plan, also, the rail coefficient at present, that is the percentage of containers moving by rail, is almost 18 to 19% at present in India. With the DFC coming up, this figure is likely to double. Almost 35 to 40% will be moving, containerized cargo will be moving by rail. We are looking forward to it. And because in logistics, there are two important things. First is the predictability of cargo, and second thing is the cost of transportation. That is logistics cost that we call. Transportation forms a major component of that. So I feel that with the commissioning of DFC and with our MMLPs and other private players are also setting up MMLPs, logistics cost will also come down. Plus there will be predictability of cargo with freight express trains running. So both these factors will contribute immensely for shifting of cargo from road to rail, which will be a green mode of transport. As far as what was your second question? Please, can you repeat it? Yeah, LNG. Yes. Now LNG actually at present we are based most of our LNG vehicles at Chennai, Nagpur, Baroda, and some at Mumbai also. North India, there was a constraint of not having any LNG pump till now. But now we have set up the first LNG pump in North India at our MMLP at Khatwas in collaboration with the Indian Oil, IOC. We are going to set up another LNG pump at MMLP Dadri, which will be commissioned in May. That will be in collaboration with IGL. With these two LNG pumps coming up in North India, plus more LNG pumps will also be coming up. We are in talks with various oil companies to set up more LNG pumps. So there will be a lot of penetration of LNG vehicles in North India also in future. I see a very bright future. Plus, as I mentioned in my address, there is a lot of R&D going on in the field of battery technology for EVs also, so that the lead distance of EVs increase, because at present battery capacity, as per my information, is only for 130 kilometers. So in the next 3 years, when it goes up to 500 kilometers, that will also be a very good option, green mode of transport for first mile, last mile. I see a lot of penetration of EVs also. Of course, capex is much more in EVs, but operational cost is very less. So there will be good penetration of EVs as well as LNG in the coming years for road transportation.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, Amir. Sir, you spoke about the net zero warehouse at Sri Perumbudur. Can you tell us something more about that specifically and how it is going to pan out to other warehouses? And also, if you can relate it to open access group captive solar wind and mobility on that front, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, that net zero warehouse, we have employed Terry as the consultant for designing of that warehouse. Right now, I don't have the design particulars, but what they have informed us is that whatever energy they will be using, that will be sustainable. I will not be able to give more details at the moment, but design is almost getting finalized within, I think, 15-20 days, because Terry we have engaged and they are doing it. So, and warehouse will be ready in 7 to 8 months. So, right now I will not be able to share that much details with you. But once this model is successful, we will be replicating it at other places also.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Sanjay ji. First is a very small comment. I think, to the best of my knowledge, Petronet LNG is by far the biggest importer as well as supplier of LNG in the country. So I think for your LNG trucks, it will be quite beneficial if you tie up with Petronet LNG in terms of supply of LNG. This is just a small comment.
Okay.
And my question is not directly related to your presentation this morning, but from your statement, I have read that Concor also has an ambition to get into coastal shipping. Now, of course, you are turning out to be a real door-to-door, multimodal, logistics service provider. But my question is, isn't it easier or better to tie up with already established and specialized agencies in coastal shipping, including my erstwhile company, Shipping Corporation, rather than going all over again and start something on your own? This is my just a humble question to you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Actually, we had started coastal shipping few years back. We were running services from Kandla to Tuticorin and Mangalore port, but we had to stop the service because of the COVID. During the COVID-19, the trade was very much impacted. So we stopped the services. You are quite right, sir, and we have signed a MOU actually with Shipping Corporation for coastal shipping, and we are jointly working with Shipping Corporation only for coastal shipping at present. We have an MOU with them.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, we'll have to stop the questions now due to paucity of time since we have other sessions.